Thank you for tuning in to this week's Just Ball Things. If you're catching us on the podcast, remember to give us a rating and review. And now, on with the show.
Shut up and sit down.
This week on JBT, we'll be breaking down the Dennis Smith Jr. debacle as we discuss whether he'll remain a Maverick next season. We'll also be discussing potential trades for the young guard, including one with the Magic and one with the Knicks. And Bill Simmons has come out with some choice words against Kyrie Irving. We'll be breaking down what he said and what we think of his opinion. And is Cousins about to debut for the most hated team in sports? And we're back with a new DBS featuring the Lakers' Young Three. So shut up, sit down, because JBT is about to begin. Good morning, afternoon, or evening from wherever you're listening across the world. Welcome to Just Ball Things. With me today, as always, in Melbourne, with myself.
Yep.
With me.
Yep.
The J-Man.
Okay.
With me.
Any more synonyms?
The Jack Manuel.
Yep.
Man Jack. Jack Man. That's your superhero name.
Jack Man, cool.
J-Manuel. Jack Manuel.
Thankfully, we've actually recorded other parts of this podcast that I'm not.
Which we will allude to later on. This podcast's going to be real trippy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's hard to keep up with already, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to get even worse. Mm-hmm. Subscribe on iTunes, please.
My name is Nick Busink, and 2 weeks down, or a week and a half down.
Are you giving us your gym thing?
Into gym.
Bro.
Hey, mate, it's an important part of my life right now.
Yeah.
And the people...
Everyone wants to hear about Nick's gym exploits.
I am just sore.
Yep.
Everywhere.
Yep.
In parts I didn't know that could get sore.
Yes.
You know there's a muscle underneath your arm?
Yeah.
It's painful.
It's a weird and wonderful thing, the human body, Nicholas. A weird and wonderful thing.
All right, let's get to JBT. A few things we've got to get through first, some caretaking, as it were. You can contact us on Twitter, at the JBT. He is ever present on the Twitskis.
Yeah.
You're doing player breakdowns.
Player breakdown.
As you've alluded to in a previous segment that you will hear future. Pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
So you are doing, was it play-by-play or player reviews?
Just the performers of the night. I do stuff in Nets Republic as well on the best Nets players. So if you want video content, everyone loves that-ish. I do plenty of it.
At the J-Man JBT. You can also we are also closely affiliated with OTG Basketball. They've got an awesome podcast network, news website, and keep you up to date with all things NBA. Make sure to give them a follow on Twitter as well at OTG Basketball. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/justballthings. Give us a like and a follow there. JBTpodcast at gmail.com. If you want to hit us up with any emails, you can do so there. We'll read them out on the show as well. To date, we have received 3.
Yeah!
In 3 years. That's one a year.
It's going to be one next year?
It's a good average.
We got one from like a bloke in bloody, what was it?
It was somewhere
Saudi
in
Arabia?
Yeah, it was somewhere
there was a guy
in the
Boston,
Middle Eastern countries.
Connecticut, like a college.
Yeah, a college student.
Those guys are the real fans, guys.
Those are the real JBT fans.
When we were doing social media superstar, we'd get like a heap of stuff from our friends. Now our friends don't even like us.
Our friends don't like us.
I mean, I'm glad I have this podcast because at least I have a colleague who I can talk to about basketball with.
We have
each other.
That's incredibly sad.
Yeah, we also apparently have girlfriends. I don't know why.
All right, just staple at Just Ball Things. The Busink Manuel scale. For those of you who are new to JBT, this is a scale created by us to sum up how likely things are to happen in the NBA. We scale it from alternative fact, Twitter fact, Wikipedia fact, or just straight up fact. Mate,
yes.
DJ, DSJ. Every time. Dennis Smith Jr. has been in the news recently. We'll be breaking down all that. Yeah, persistently, yes. So Dennis Smith Jr. won't be a Dallas Maverick beyond this season. Jackie boy, some context. Words were said.
Yeah.
DSJ is in the doghouse, and he doesn't want to play. Give me some more information.
So there seems to be a dispute with, obviously, him and his parties, as well as the Dallas Mavericks. Obviously, the addition of Luka Doncic hasn't helped things. Initially, things were all rosy.
They're tight, though, apparently.
They were hanging out, playing video games, doing this and that.
I don't think there's any bad blood between them.
It's definitely not. It's just
he knows that the Don's better.
Yeah, but Dennis Smith Jr., he's a lottery pick. When a franchise sort of point guard for your future, so to speak. He apparently has clashed with Rick Carlisle on many occasions, as has every point guard that has been under Rick Carlisle that isn't JJ Barea. We saw Rajon Rondo.
He doesn't quite take fondly to rookies.
And I think not necessarily rookies. I think it's point guards, and I think there was a story out where apparently either during games or practices, Rick Carlisle will call out plays, and Dennis Smith Jr. will just ignore it and do his own thing, which is that shows a bit of chutzpah from a second
bit of arrogance,
a bit of maybe arrogance.
I mean, is that what chutzpah means? I don't know what that means.
Oh, really, you never heard chutzpah?
I've never heard of that. No,
I don't know what its origin is, but I got it probably from like some television show.
What's it mean?
It means you got some cojones.
Cojones.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm not going to go through it.
I do know what that means.
So yeah, I'm probably going to give this a fact. It's more likely, when is this going to happen? Is this going to happen before the trade deadline? The rumors are now that Rick Carlisle is becoming all chummy and wants him back. Who's right, who's wrong, who knows? We're not there, so we can't really pertain to know things. We're not ESPN reporters. We want to be, but we talk about cojones and explain what chutzpah means on podcasts instead.
I mean, we'll take a young, exciting point guard. We haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah, well, you had one, but then he just ruined things and just took all your money.
All of our money.
But I will throw in some trades and the trade deadline marathon with OGD basketball that were proposed by a few of our writers, and one of them goes as follows: Dalton, who's doing some massive work there, proposed to the Knicks, who were supposed to select him initially before Phil Jackson's like, I need someone from my triangle, and they selected Frank Ntilikina. So he proposed Frank Ntilikina and Noah Vonleh for Dennis Smith Jr. We don't spend a lot of time on this as it was done on the trade deadline marathon pods for the outlet, but I think this makes a lot of sense. But at the same time, Emmanuel Mudiay, Dennis Smith Jr., not the best fit at the same time. But I think this would benefit a team like the Dallas Mavericks. Man, Frank Ntilikina and Luka Doncic and Noah Vonleh is a nice rotation piece. I think that would be awesome for them.
I like it more for Dallas than I do for the Knicks.
Yeah.
I think just sheerly from a Knicks standpoint.
Sheerly?
Sheer, like from sheer, yeah. What's wrong with that?
I don't know if sheerly's a word.
Sheer, it's like sheer, from a sheer standpoint.
Okay.
Shut up, Jack. Just let me speak. The last thing that the fans would want is another point guard. I know they're getting rid of a point guard that is not in good favour in New York at the moment, but they are so tired of damn point guards.
Yeah.
They have had such a turnaround such a turnover in that position. I like it for Dallas, like you said. I'm still fairly high on Ntilikina.
Yeah.
Offensively, he has a lot of work to do. Defensively, he is great. And like you said, Noah Vonleh is a great rotation piece as well.
Do you think, before we get to the last thread, before we move on to the next topic, do you think Dennis, what's your rating on the scale? Is he a Maverick? Is he not a Maverick?
He's definitely not a Maverick. This is a fact.
How long do you think it is?
A fact for me.
Is it going to happen before the trade deadline? Or do you think he'll last the season out in Dallas?
Just sheerly on how forthright he has been in, I don't want to play, I'm not happy here. Every day he's there, he's creating a toxic environment. They need to move him
Toxicity,
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So I think before the trade deadline, he will be moving on.
Watch this space.
To where, though? There's another one here.
Orlando Magic.
Orlando.
I think it'd be perfect.
Yeah, Vucevic and Terrence Ross for Wesley Matthews and Dennis Smith Jr.
Win-win.
Wow, I did not realize Wesley Matthews was
a lot of money.
On that much money.
That's a lot of money.
It's an expiring deal, though.
Yeah.
thankfully.
But I think this makes a lot of sense for both teams. I don't think recently with Orlando.
I don't think Orlando will do it.
Yeah,
I don't want to. They won't want to lose Vucevic.
Yeah, but at the same time,
especially recently.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I think this is a deal that they should do, but they're not going to do this season because they have playoff aspirations, and Vooch is their best player. He's probably going to be an all-star. Yeah. We spoke about that a few weeks ago.
I feel like the return on Vooch will be a lot better than Wesley Matthews and Dennis Smith Jr. Considering you're getting rid of Terrence Ross.
But Dennis Smith Jr. is a foundational guy. How long has it been since they've been playing DJ Augustine as their starting point guard? I know,
but they need to make a run at some sort of even just entrance of the playoffs. If they get rid of Vooch for DSJ, they're essentially saying probably not going to make the playoffs for another 4 years.
Yeah, I mean. That's fair.
Like, shit will hit the fan in Orlando.
Yeah.
And, you know...
You don't want shitty fans.
No, not in that hot, sweaty... Oh. I mean...
Your fan's on right now, Nicholas. I'm just thinking about shit flying everywhere. Speaking about shit fly everywhere, Bilbo, to steal Nick's sort of colloquialisms, Bill Simmons, BS, he believes...
Simo. Yes. The other Simo.
Yes. Kyrie Irving doesn't know how to be a leader. Now, Mr. Irving has been ever present in the news this week with his DMs. He hasn't DM'd. He physically called someone, Mr. LeBron.
That's like the pinnacle of DM.
Yeah,
you actually say it.
Yeah, and I'm
like it's like a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, what you say in the DMs, you're not saying in person. If you look,
that's fair.
Yeah. But he obviously called LeBron. He's like, "I'm sorry, bro. I was young. I was naive," and that was sort of sparking talks of what Kyrie's leadership is. And Bill goes on his podcast, is like, "I don't know if he's the guy you want to be your fulcrum and the number one dude. I mean, he has all the talent in the world, but he's still relatively young. I mean, what is leadership, Nick? We're not going to get...
Oh, you're getting real philosophical right now.
I mean, it's a rhetorical question for right now. I mean, it's one we could spend an entire podcast on, but we spend so much time on other stupid shit. We shouldn't spend an entire leadership podcast. That's for motivational speakers. But
this is all stemmed from the final play. In what game was that?
Orlando.
Was it Celtics Orlando where Tatum took that last shot? Kyrie's obviously standing towards the halfway line.
He was Salt Bay.
He was very much Bay of Salt. He was drowning in the Dead Sea, which is a salty sea for those who do not know. I'm killing it today.
You're doing alright, mate.
But it's all stemmed from that. You could see even during that timeout,
Jaylen Brown as well. He was calling out the young guys.
Even there was a clip maybe a week before that game of Marcus Morris or Smart, one of the Marcuses, and Jaylen Brown. I think that one.
Yeah, they were going to punch on.
They were
physical altercation.
Wasn't a punch on? They got pushed.
Physical altercation.
They had to get separated. There wasn't a whole lot in it, but there was still some tension there.
Yeah, there was.
And that was troubling. And then all of this stuff has come out, and the back and forth between the young guys and the young guys and the old guys.
And then Kyrie.
There seems to be a rift.
I think there's just a rift between Kyrie and everyone. He's just an odd dude, I think.
Flat Earth, I mean, yeah.
I mean, he's an odd dude, but I think he can be a leader.
So I think this experience has definitely bettered himself.
I don't think that they can be a championship contender with their current iteration. Like, Kyrie's going to need Anthony Davis or Paul George or Kawhi. I'm not saying those players are going there, but he needs someone else because Gordon Hayward is a shell of himself, and he needs another guy. LeBron had another guy in Kyrie.
I think Tatum can be that guy.
I don't think he can. I think Tatum is very young, and I think he knows his role as, like, look, Kyrie's the guy. I think Kyrie needs someone else there, and, like, I don't think Kyrie and Gordon get along because Gordon was too busy at the Trump freaking Nazi rallies today. We're getting political today, ladies and gentlemen.
It was the hope that Jaylen Brown would be that sort of...
But he's also...
forward who would be that...
He's also... And this isn't a negative connotation to these guys. He's also a guy who doesn't mesh well with the locker room, apparently. And I'm not saying this from... because it's what I think. It's from what, credited reporters like Jackie McMullen, who has been around the Boston Celtics for years and years. I think Brad Stevens is finally experiencing, the trials and tribulations of being an NBA head coach. And I think, is he the leader? What do we got? Doesn't know how to be a leader. I'll go Twitter
I'm probably giving this one a wiki. I'm probably putting more stock into it
than me.
I think he's trying to lead. He's trying to lead.
Lead. Is that why that? Whoa. Because the lead, if you're the leader of a ship, it's very important. Is that how they came up with it?
I don't know. I believe that term is the captain. Well, captain. The captain of a soccer team is also the leader of the ship. We're getting into dark places here in JBT.
Dark places?
It's getting weird. We're recording stuff ahead of other stuff. What's going on? I'm giving this one a wiki. I think he's trying to lead as LeBron led. Obviously, drafted at the Cavs. Kyrie drafted the Cavs. LeBron comes in and wins him a championship. And for 4 years, that is what he's known. That's the leadership style he's known from a very young age. And now he's tried to move on to his own team to fix or to try and
steer the ship.
Establish something for himself. And he's trying to lead as he's been taught, which is by LeBron. That's why he called up and was
he didn't.
This is harder than
he hated that leadership though. So I don't think he's leading.
I think he is.
I think
he is.
I dispute
but he
that.
can't do it. He can't lead like LeBron because he's not LeBron.
I don't think he is. Okay. There's elements of it that I agree with in terms of the calling out guys, which LeBron has done ever so subtly, be it Twitter and stuff.
LeBron can do that because he's the greatest player ever.
I know, and I think yes, I agree. I think Kyrie.
Hear that, Adrian Fumato? He agreed.
Yeah,
he's the greatest player ever.
I agree with the leadership style, but
that's what I mean. He can do that. He commands that sort of respect. People will be like, "Who are you?"
Yeah,
Kyrie Irving. Who are you? You're not even the best point guard in the. You're not even the best at your position in the league.
Yeah, that's fair. But Nick, we could spend plenty of time with the Boston Celtics. If you want us to spend more time, send us in some emails, ladies and gentlemen. Memphis need to blow it up, Nick. Explosion! You're ready, and it makes me happy. Fact. The situation in Memphis now, hot start to the season. As did the Clippers.
It is amazing how much of a cliff they have fallen off. They have fallen off at Niagara Falls right now. Mount Everest. They have fallen off Mount Everest.
That's a mountain. That's not a cliff.
It's similar.
What's the difference between a mountain and what? All right.
Well, cliff has a shield.
We need to stay and talk about basketball.
Off topic. Let's talk mountains.
And cliffs. I've got a friend named Cliff. Memphis need to blow it up. So, Nick, you in agreement?
Man, I said this last year.
Yeah.
And then they sort of stuck my own foot in my mouth by being good.
Yeah.
And now they're not good.
So the foot has been taken out of
your
mouth.
The foot has been taken out of my mouth.
Does it taste
and
right?
Firmly placed inside Memphis's ass. They really should. But what are you going to get? All these players are another year old. What's the trade market for a 36-year-old center?
It's absolutely no, it's not great. It's not great at all. Now, this obviously is in response to Shams. Or Shams. We're going with Shams. It's more bogus.
Shams. I think it is Shams. We have had this discussion before. In season 1.
Really?
We have had this discussion. Major deja vu.
We need
right now.
super fans. We've got
scour through the archives.
We've got to have someone.
Us?
For The Athletic, he put out a post saying that the Grizzlies are at a crossroads. Ownership is having a meeting with Mike Conley and Marc Gasol. What does that mean? Obviously, it means something. I think David Thorpe on a podcast, for those that don't listen, was advocating for the fact that they need to move, and this entire the organizational structure there in Memphis, they need to get new ownership. It's a shambles.
Got him.
But I think that there is no contract is untradeable. Maybe John Wall's. But I think we need to save that sigh and put it as a new soundbite on on the thing. But I think there'll be plenty of teams who would love a Mike Conley. I think we could maybe even talk about I think a Memphis could make that trade with Dallas.
Garrett Temple, I think, is a decent trade.
I'd love him on the Nets.
He used to play for the WOES.
He did.
I did like him on the WOES.
Yeah.
He's on an $8 million contract. I can honestly check when that all sort of
who expires.
Yeah, exactly. But he's not a man who will demand a max or even command a max. He's not good enough. But he can be a contributor on a team. Yeah, 100%. He has shown. I'd actually like to bring up his stats.
But Nick, is this really about Garrett Temple?
I mean, no. But as in, like, if you're going to try and blow it up, he is you can get a decent something
asset
for. You can get picks for Garrett Temple. Teams would give away picks for Garrett Temple.
I think you could package him in something as well. Like it's got to start. They're very lucky that they were unsuccessful last year, and that it landed them in a franchise foundational piece in Jaren Jackson. But they need to change tack, and they need to change tack quick. They need to realize that that last season, it was cool. It was all hunky dory. The fact that okay, we're crappy now. We know that once we get Conley and Gasol back, we'll be all right. They've got them both back. They ain't all right. So they really need to play the explosion for me. They really need to what, Nick? Do that.
Boom, boom.
Boom, boom, baby. Nicholas.
There's a fact for you.
Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying. Nick, DeMarcus Cousins speaks words. Played a nice game the other day. The Warriors are the most hated team in sports. Let's hear what he said.
We're the most hated team in sports, so...
You think you're the most hated team in sports? I would say that there are a lot of people in this country who love to hate the Yankees or the Cowboys.
Well, put us up there. I would say the Warriors are for sure. They hate Kevin, they hate me. I think the only guy that really like is Steph. They may hate him as well. They hate Draymond, but it is what it is. So I can't worry about that.
So I ask you this, Jackie boy: are the Warriors the most hated team in sport? Not just basketball.
Sport.
In sport.
There's an alternative fact, Nick. There is no way they are even close.
This is an alternative.
They're not even top 5.
I like Draymond.
We know how much you like Draymond. Jesus Christ.
I
like
KD.
Player. I like KD.
See, there you go. I'm not a huge KD fan. I think he's very childish,
snakish.
No, I don't mind his move. I don't care that he moved.
Right.
I care about his burner accounts.
Yeah,
his arguing with the fans.
Focus on the team, Nick. What other teams do you...
But I love Steph. I love Clay.
I love Steph.
China Clay. Warriors are they were loved before they signed KD. I think people hate KD and people hate Boogie
and Draymond.
Yeah, that's 3 players. But people love Kerr and the way that he built this 3-point league. People love Steph, the family man. Yeah. People love Clay because he's just crazy.
Yeah,
he's a crazy man. He loves China.
He does.
Good on him.
Good place.
Yeah.
All our listeners out in China, hit us up.
Andrew Bogut. Yeah, going back now.
I'm not a big fan of Andrew Bogut. He's not my biggest fan.
He's not your biggest fan. That is for true.
That is definitely for true.
That is definitely for true. I am learned on
sports,
soccer, more so than sports in general, but soccer. Manchester United, obviously,
way more hated.
A lot more hated. Essentially, teams that breed success are generally hated.
Liverpool.
Chelsea are very much hated.
Yep.
I despise Liverpool.
Yeah.
I'm a Manchester City fan. I know there is a shitload of people that hate Manchester City.
Yep.
Manchester City and Chelsea are sort of in the same boat. You bought your championships. You splashed a lot of cash.
Yep.
Whatever it was, doesn't matter. We've won championships, and your shitty Nottingham Forest have not.
Take that, Nottingham Forest. If we have any Nottingham Forest.
Apologies to Nottingham Forest.
JBTpodcast
that was the first team that I thought of. Wolverhampton Warriors.
Oh, I don't even know who that is.
The Wolves. Wolverhampton
Wolves. Wolverhampton. I know
Wolverhampton.
Yeah.
Even in American sport, the Patriots.
Yeah, Patriots.
Very much hated.
I mean, Tom Brady. How can you not hate that?
I mean,
strawberry loving asshole.
He is. He is a gorgeous man.
Really?
He is.
I'm not even that big on Giselle.
He is a gorgeous man.
He's not.
He is.
He votes for Trump as well. He's like biffle for Trump, bro.
Yeah, but he looks good.
Cool. So does,
like Rachel Nick said as well, the Yankees.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't follow. Is that
Yankees are
baseball?
way more hated.
Is that soft baseball?
Baseball.
Softball's not a thing.
Softball is not that popular of a sport.
Yeah, okay.
There's probably some hated chess players out there.
Like, I assume the Red Sox, because Boston.
Yeah, good
I mean,
point.
people don't like Boston.
I think the Lakers are
Bostonites.
probably more hated.
Celtics and
Lakers
Lakers
and Celtics.
are hated. Yeah,
And in Aussie sports, I think it's Collingwood.
yeah. But
everyone-
if we're talking from a global standpoint,
No, but
Collingwood
like
aren't
in terms of most hated team. No, but like in
Hawthorn are pretty up there though.
Yeah,
Like
Collingwood
with
and Hawthorn. I know
Tigers.
Geelong are pretty hated as well.
Tiger, I like Geelong.
Okay, well a lot of other,
Geelong's hated in your household. I think that's because of Chap.
because of one person in my
I
house.
honestly think he's brainwashed you. I really like Geelong.
All right. If you guys have any teams you hate, or if you hate
More
us,
so than the Warriors. Like,
yeah,
you know,
that's like 10 teams.
It is a complete alternative fact.
Yes. But Nick, Luke Walton is lying about his thoughts on the LA coaching job. Now, there is no soundbite for this because we like to give you some variance on JBT Pod. We want to speak the quotes ourselves. And I will speak it myself. He said, "It's the best job in the world and I love the challenge that we have. It's challenging, it's hard, it's sleepless nights, but it's also awesome." Is he lying, Nick? Is it really that awesome? You're a coach. You can empathise.
Oh, hardly. I've been on break for quite a while. I think we go back when school starts, thereabouts.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah, early Feb.
Pre-season training. Get the suicides going.
Man, I need to get myself pre-season
Try
training.
go to gym. Hear about that.
Yeah, let's talk about the gym.
Jesus Christ.
No, I honestly think that he himself believes it. It's like Stockholm syndrome.
It's for true.
It's yes. It is Stockholm syndrome for basketball.
Yeah.
He's getting beaten. He's getting abused.
Magic and Rob are just looking at him just like he's
Exactly.
going to get fired tomorrow.
But you know, he couldn't live without it.
Yeah.
It's alarmingly like Stockholm. That is amazing.
It is. It's the epitome and definition of Stockholm syndrome.
Yes. I have no doubt. Like, he lives in LA. If you look at like the broader things, he lives in LA.
Yeah, La La
he coaches one of the most
iconic.
Exactly, iconic. Well, yeah, I think iconic is the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Iconic teams in sports in general, not just basketball, but in sports. The Los Angeles
brand.
Lakers. Exactly.
Purple and gold, baby. Lakers.
From that point, yes, it would result in a lot of pressure, a lot of sleepless nights. Exactly what he said. But at the end of the day, it's all of those things that we said. It's the LA life. It's, hey, I've been given the opportunity to coach the best player in basketball.
Yeah.
And
Doesn't end well for a lot of coaches.
well, yeah, that's exactly right. It doesn't end well for a lot of players. A lot of players don't.
It's true.
But
It's
yeah,
true.
if we're talking sheerly from a coaching standpoint, I believe he believes it.
I think he likes it, but I don't think he likes it as much as he's portrayed. Because if he said if he was to change tack at all and verbalize maybe some other things he doesn't enjoy about LA, then Jeannie Buss, who is the owner and his number one supporter, would be like, okay, Magic Rob, do your thing. You can get whoever you want. So
There's
I'm
a
gonna
lot of perks for coaching, like along with the pressure and all of that comes with coaching in LA to the Lakers. It also comes with bigger free agency prospects.
Yeah,
you've got more room to
fail and succeed.
Exactly.
Yeah, the spectrum is far wider. But I'm going with he's not lying. But I'll go Twitter
Maybe he's
because
just kidding himself.
yeah, I think Twitter. I think that there's elements that he's just. I mean, it's hard, and he hates a lot more things than he's leading on. There's lots of things to love, but who likes sleepless nights? Like,
I mean, if you love your job and it's like if you see results out
I
of
like
it,
to
then
teach and I like to write
then
about
sure.
basketball, but I also thoroughly enjoy getting Z's.
catching Z's.
My 7 to 9 hours, Nick, are essential. We've got a lot of embedded off topics within that. We should listen back to this episode. Nicholas, next one. Zion Williamson should sit out the rest of the season for Duke. It'll work out well for your Wiz if they tank, which they're not going to.
We're not going to.
We'll get to that later.
We go, yeah.
Wizards, something.
It may be in a pre-recorded segment. It could not be.
We don't know.
Who knows?
We don't even know. Zion, did you see that dunk today?
Oh my!
Did you see it?
Word.
He's like 800 pounds. He's like
tremendous.
You know, if he was like an animal representation, he's a rhino. Like he's like literally a rhino.
But with the jumping, like
ability
imagine
like a frog.
Imagine if a flea was blown up to the size of a rhino, but could still jump the same proportionally.
Yeah.
So he would jump the size of the Empire State Building.
He's a fleano.
He's a flea.
He's a ree.
He's a rhinoceros. That's bad. We're bad.
No, a flynoceros.
A flynoceros. I mean, he's not a fly. A fleanoceros.
Flynoceros.
Fourth time's the charm, Jack. Fourth time. But this comes out of who said it?
Sam Vecini on Twitter. He's a very, very well... he said it in response to... It's gaining a lot of traction, and obviously because Zion is so far head and shoulders above every other prospect. That, and like half the other prospects are on his own team. Now, RJ Barrett has been outstanding. All these other guys, Nasir Little, and the rest are great prospects, but Zion is just Zion. He's in a league of his own. So I personally think he should. So I'm going fact for this. And I'm going to send this segment specifically to my girlfriend because she is obsessed with Duke, as is her family. And John, shout out to you if you're listening to this one. But as much as... And Zion would never do this because Zion loves the game and he loves the camaraderie of sport. And he has this killer mentality, an insatiableness for the sport that's similar to a guy like Russell Westbrook. Now, I don't think anyone's on that level, but he just loves the game. He's not going to do that. But if he is to have any sort of injury, then I would be as devastated as he would be because the game would be lost without him. If we were to lose him to any sort of injury, and I am knocking on wood very loudly that it actually hurt my knuckles a little bit, we need Zion in this league, and we need him, and not just because the league's in a bad place. It's just he's going to enhance it so much, and the fandom around him. We've seen Luka Mania, Zion Mania. There's going to be... I'm looking forward to the Zionists. There's going to be Zionists, Nicholas. I'm bringing it out already. There's already Zionists. I'm a Zionist.
The Zionologist.
You're a Zionologist, obviously.
Yes, I am.
Do you think he should sit out?
This is such a modern take on, like...
We hate college sports. We hate it so much.
With how... the league in the past, couple years have been very pro health. There's been massive debate on professional sitting games. You've had the older generation coming in and saying, "What? They're resting games? Well, we never needed a rest." It's all to extend their careers. This is such a modern thing to think about.
Yeah, this is preserving the Zion brand.
But there's the idea is that he's done enough at Duke to solidify his number one spot. He could not play the rest of the season
easily
and be picked number one.
Easily.
But I don't think you can. What message does that send? 1. 2, college sports is a big deal for the college. They don't want to be sitting their best player.
He would destroy the NCAA, and he would be an absolute slap in the face. And I would love it, but I know plenty of other college sports fans, including my lovely girlfriend, which I say.
I mean, I'll be shattered if injuries happen, but injuries are a part of the game.
But if it were to happen, it would be a blight. I mean, there's plenty of blights in the NCAA system. But
then if he doesn't get injured in college, if he does sit out, then he gets injured in his first year. At the end of the day, he needs to play basketball.
Yeah, but
so you may as well just play him while he can. Let him show his stuff at Duke. Let him keep getting reps under his belt.
He doesn't need
even
more
if
reps,
even if it is college game.
He doesn't need them though. That's just me. Like I think it's probably more of my advocacy against college sports, so that's why. And I'm all about players protecting themselves and their livelihood, which is a completely other podcast topic for another day. So it sort of relates to the next one though, Nicholas. The Wizards should never tank. Quoting Ted Leonsis right there, baby.
So this is part of our
what's it called?
Our Wizards, which we plugged in the future. I'm sorry to everyone whose eardrums just bust because of Jack's enthusiasm. But this is a segment that we plugged. Well, that we have plugged in the future that you will hear soon enough.
We didn't tell them the name in the future,
but we didn't. We teased it.
Yeah.
So this is We've got Brooklyn bits that we introduced last week, which we'll get to. But this is Wizards Woes.
Whoa, I love
because
it.
we are a woeful team. And it doesn't matter, even if we are the top seed, it will always be Wizards Woes because the Wizards cannot shake its woeful nature.
Yep.
And that's fine. I mean, you just become accustomed to the hurt. You of all people should know, mate.
Oh,
as being
mate.
a Brooklyn fan.
It's been a lovely thing to not be on.
But Ted Leonis, our Lord and Saviour.
Yep.
Ted Leonis.
Ted Leonsis.
Leonsis, sorry.
Leonsis.
Is it Leonsis? I've been calling him Leonis for ages.
He doesn't deserve to have the proper pronouncing, mate. He's a horrible owner.
Wizards should never tank, as
Fact.
you mentioned before.
Fact?
I'm against tanking. I think we've had segments here before.
If you could get Zion,
about the
if
process.
I go, Nick, you tank for the next 40 games.
I know.
You doing it? For Zion. For Zion, you're a Zionist. Zionology.
You're tearing me apart.
I am.
Lisa, you're tearing me apart.
We need a soundbite.
Because I am very much against tanking. I have been
all
for
about the
ages,
culture.
ever since Philadelphia. I mentioned this on a previous podcast.
You've done it plenty, mate. We know your thoughts. Just give us your actual opinion.
It's just unprecedented what Philly did to establish, to do what they're at now in a losing culture. He's crazy. You need to establish a winning culture.
Ted Leonsis said himself. He said, that process is pretty risky and in and of itself.
Incredibly risky.
I don't think you can tell players, coaches, staff, don't make the playoffs and tank. We will never ever tank.
100%. You need to have the confidence in your. You need to have the confidence of your front office coming through the ranks to your players. Hey, we believe in you. This is your ceiling. I want you to show your best.
Yeah. So you're.
I am very much a fact.
I'm an alternative fact. I think that you guys should tank like
I mean, Sam Hinkie.
I think selective tanking is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Rest a couple of players here and there.
I'm going to bring this back to AFL. Brisbane Lions right now.
Yeah.
Atrocious. They've been stocking number one picks for what feels like. Carlton I was going to bring up before. They've now traded some number one picks in Gibbs.
Gibbsy. Last one, Nick.
We'll get to the Brooklyn bits.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn bit, rather. It's just the one.
And Charles Barkley's going to advocate for an all-star for the Brooklyn Nets. D'Angelo Russell or Spencer Dinwiddie should make the all-star team. Charles, take it away.
Brooklyn have an all-star?
Dinwiddie.
You didn't think Dinwiddie before, but I'm still rolling with him.
There's two guys I'm pulling
still
for.
rolling with
I
him.
don't pull for guys, but Dinwiddie and Tobias Harris.
Yep.
I'm pulling for both of those guys to make the All-Star team. And give our shout out to Sean Marks. Sean Marks has done a fantastic job in Brooklyn.
Big shout out to Sean Marks.
We're Brooklyn at.
We're Brooklyn at. Where's the trigger? That's set in Gotham, but that's essentially Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Because Brooklyn's
It's New York City. New York City is Gotham. We know.
Yes.
Batman.
Speaking of Batman, Spencer Dinwiddie, because he's got a pulls a bag of tricks.
He's actually a Marvel dude. He's obsessed with Marvel. So
the more you know. So more for Charles Barkley, because I know the topic was more both of them, D'Lo or Spencer.
So
but are you more on Spencer?
Nah.
I mean, exactly. It seems crazy. If you're going to pick one person from Brooklyn, it has to be D'Angelo Russell.
And Nick, my boy OTG Nick, co-hosted the Brooklyn Buzz podcast. We've been putting out fire content for you guys there. In the month of January, D'Lo has averaged 23.2 points per game, over 50% from the field, almost 44% from three, 7.4 assists, 3.7 rebounds, and a steal. He's getting up there, and I think he might be battling your boy Bradley Beal for a spot. But I think,
and sorry to Chuck, but Tobias Harris is not. Neither of those players are getting in. Tobias Harris and Spencer Dinwiddie are not getting in. I'm 100% pulling for
D'Lo.
For D'Lo.
Yeah. Did you like my D'Lo?
Brooklyn needs some love.
Yeah.
How long has it been since they've had an All-Star? I would assume quite a while.
I can't remember.
At least 4 years.
Deron Williams or Joe Johnson, one of them.
Yeah.
Brooke Lopez never made one, so.
Oh, there you go.
I don't think so.
I mean, he's not really he's a center who doesn't get rebounds. So, like, what do you do, mate?
I mean Splash Mountain.
He makes some threes.
Splash Mountain, baby. Get around it.
But yeah, I am very much on the D'Lo for All-Star. I was on Conley, but they're just too bad now.
Yeah. D'Lo has been sensational of late. And for those naysayers who say he doesn't get enough free throws, He still drives like a mofo, and he's going to get that part of his game down pat. Don't worry about
He'll
that.
get the superstar call soon enough, D-Lo. I have a lot of faith.
He's going to be getting there, baby. And yeah, I think I'm still not sold yet because I think that there's still plenty of basketball to be played. But D'Angelo Russell's been on a tear, and he's going to earn himself a payday. I wrote in August for the Hot Take Marathon that he could get he could be an All-Star, and in August. So have that what you will.
All right, let's get on to JB Team of the Week. JB Team of the Week. Yeah, for those of you who are new, this is where we recognise the players that have been outstanding in their position over the week.
Seriously, have we not put that music
Just
on Spotify
gone.
yet? Like,
It
how
is-
is that not beating like
it is
Ariana
sweet
Grande?
fire.
Like, come on.
It is sweet, sweet fire, and you can thank me for...
Of course, toot your own horn, but I'm tooting it myself, mate.
Toot, toot.
Toot, toot.
Stephen Curry taking out the point guard spot.
Wow.
48 points. Hit 11 three-pointers, mate.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's
He just breaks his own records. Like,
I think I think in that game they broke the... I think they took
record.
70 or 70 made.
No, that was
that was a rock.
Houston
That was a
against
rock
us.
70 attempted.
Yeah.
But then they broke the next day. They broke
Yeah.
the three
Made.
field goals made.
Yeah.
Simply amazing stuff. So Steph Curry was unstoppable against Dallas. 48 points, 11 threes, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks for the little man as well.
Yeah, I did a video breakdown. I'm doing video breakdowns for OTG Basketball and on my Twitter at the JBT. Pay attention to that. Plenty of fire video content. So if you want to see it in visual format because our voices suck, go watch it. Yeah.
Well said, sir. Taking out the shooting guard, who else but the Jimmy Harden? The Jimmy Harden.
Okay, are we adding...
Jim Bob.
Is there a way to email a basketball reference to ask them to add nicknames? Or to not add nicknames if you email them?
Hardy D.
Hardy D.
That's very sexual.
It sounds sexual, but it also sounds like you're getting a hearty dose of vitamin D. But then
That is even more sexual.
We all need vitamin D in our lives,
Oh
Nicholas.
my god. James
very
Harden.
white man.
Which one of the games do you want to pick? Because he's been simply unstoppable.
It was
He had
good
another
today as well.
He had another 47, 48
Do we
points.
need to even read these things? Like, just say like he scored like 1,000 points.
I mean,
Took
he went 57 points, carrying his team over Memphis.
58 against us. They lost, baby.
Yeah,
He
58
swore.
against against the Nets in an OT loss. 48 today or 47.
God, man. Who knows?
In a loss. No, in a win.
Yeah.
In a win today, OT
the
win
Lakers.
over the Lakers. That was a great win for. You
averaging-
were asleep during it. I was sitting. Next
I
to you.
was, yeah.
I was sitting next to you watching that game. Yeah, I mean, you're right. There is really no point going through his stats. He's been in the limelight so much.
He's averaging 34.9, I think.
Of
now,
course,
which is
he's taking
insane.
out. Yeah.
MJ stuff.
Of course, he's taking out the shooting guard. Small forward Kawhi Leonard was dominant as he led the Raptors in an OT win over my struggling Wiz. Unfortunately, with 41 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks.
Where does he rank an MVP for you, Nick? Is he top 5?
No, no.
Okay.
I
You don't watch a lot of basketball, so I don't trust your opinion necessarily. But
he is a
He's on the
consistent
periphery?
he's a consistent performer.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kills him.
he's just so...
Consistency is not sexy.
It is for me.
That's why I think Giannis has fallen out of favor, especially considering what Harden,
See, for me, yeah,
what
I know.
Harden's been doing.
For me, Giannis is still number 1, but like, I'm gonna have to eat my own words.
I
very,
mean,
very soon.
he's not slowing down.
But neither is Giannis. But like, Giannis is just putting out like 25, 15,
and the Bucks
5,
are good
and 5.
as well. Like that's what, like the Toronto are good.
Any other year, like 4 other players would be MVP. Like, it's ridiculous. Like Paul George as well. Like
Yeah, exactly.
Joel Embiid's been insane as well. But and a guy at the power forward position this week.
Yeah, well, that's right. Anthony Davis pulled off
Segue.
another
You meant to use it better. Don't get surprised
incredible
by it.
stat line.
It's supposed to have chemistry.
Put up 46 points, 16 rebounds, and he is, well, like you said, he's the man who's
Jesus.
keeps on trucking. 4 assists, 3 steals as well, and a block in Monday night's win over the Clippers.
Keep on Truckin's a decent name for the pod if you want to write it down. Yeah. Cool.
Keep it.
There you go.
At the center position, another potential MVP, and I think this needs to.
I literally did an article on him today for Beckett Media about him being an MVP,
and I think it needs to be stated, considering the Nuggets being amazing. I think
they're second now.
Yeah, they're second now.
Drop.
But that's still that's over.
Second to the Warriors is a very, very good achievement.
Exactly. Nikola Jokic, he dropped 40 points, tying his season high in Denver Nuggets win over the Portland Trailblazers. Once again, proving he belongs in the MVP conversation. He added 10 rebounds, 8 assists to round out the sizzling showing.
How good's my alliteration? You know it was me, because half the time I copy and paste from like CBS Sports or ESPN, but when I get that alliteration in, you know it's me, sizzling. Sizzling showing. I don't know, is that a name for a podcast?
No, I don't even reckon that's alliteration. They start with S, but they start with completely different sounds.
Yeah, but it's letters, mate. I'm pretty sure the definition of alliteration is the letters.
No, it's got to flow as it sounds.
It has to be like onomatopoeia.
Yeah, it needs to sound the same.
Okay, well.
And anyway. I'm not getting into this conversation.
We should not.
That's JBT of the week. Steph Curry, James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, Anthony Davis, and Nikola Jokic. Very nice company there. All right, let's move on to Rookie Watch.
Put it down, young fella.
Best all-around rookie ever.
The best rookie we've ever seen.
Lesson 1, rookie. Expect the unexpected.
Nick, what do you think would rank higher on Spotify if we put them both down? Rookie Watch?
Rookie Watch.
It's pretty good. Because of Rick and Morty, yeah?
It's the Rick and the fact that the Rick and Morty thing flows
you initially, I remember you were like, oh, this doesn't make a lot, and you put it in still, I remember. Yeah. You weren't skeptical. Necessarily as...
I was skeptical.
You were skeptical,
yeah,
that's the word I'm looking for. Who would have thought that you're filling in my sentences these days? Rookie Watch, number 1, the 1 vote goes to, of course, the Don. We're sticking with the Don. The Donk, you know...
The Donk is dumb.
It's
Lee Ellis, don't at me. The Donk is dumb.
No one's going to add a person with 53 followers, bro. You're like a burner account for like Lee Ellis, probably. The Don put up 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists in a loss to the Spurs. I mean, just go through any of Luka Doncic's thing. I just picked one. But 2 votes goes to Trae Young in a loss to the Bucks. He was still very productive, 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists. But the 3 votes goes to Nick's boy. He's climbing up the ladder a little bit. Knox.
I think he got 3 votes last week.
He's Knoxing on Rookie Watch door. According to Basketball Reference, he became the 6th youngest player in NBA history to score at least 30 points, with Kobe, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Jaren Jackson and LeBron James were the only people who were younger. He scored 31 points in a loss against the Sixers to go with 7 rebounds, 2 steals.
He just needed a bit of time to feel out the game.
He's gone well.
He's going gangbusters right now.
Yeah.
Happy stuff in New York. Who knows how things are going to transgress as...
progress and trend. I think you should have started with progress.
Whatever.
You had the word and then you changed it to the wrong one. You're like Porky Pig.
Some sort of prefix and then gress. Congress.
Ooh, topical.
Who knows how things are going to change with Porzingis back in the rotation. Or transgress. Or congress.
Well, let's get into the wall, mate, with off topic. No, we're not doing that. We are not going there. We could.
Off topic. It wouldn't really be off topic because it's very topical.
It's way too topical. We need to find like some niche political, like underground alternative bullshit. Just do DBS music.
Drop. Steven, I like your hustle. That's why it was so hard to cut you.
Bench.
No! God, please, no! No!
Start.
All right, that's more like it.
This is DBS.
Yes, as the number 3 worldwide Spotify.
See, what genre? So we know that the genres for like Rookie Watch would be easily like, you know, pop EDM.
Yeah, it's
very cachet, very like in hip.
This is like
Zed.
Like I don't know.
It's like the old school sort of like
Charlie Chaplin sort of thing.
You're a man after my soul.
I was gonna say Charlie shit. I'm not gonna lie. My brain sort of just went south.
Winning.
But yes, as the music stipulated, DBS drop, bench, start. So we'll give you 3 players, and you tell us who we drop, who we bench, who we start.
We tell you,
and we tell you as well. But you can also tell us.
They've never told us.
JBTpodcast at gmail.com.
At the JBT. I'm growing.
At JBT Nick.
I'm getting some followers. Don't. Why do you even say it? If you're not going to be active, don't do anything. Close your mouth, you bum. Who are the 3 players?
Who are the 3 players, Jack? Because we had this discussion and I completely forgot. Because there are 2 sets of 3 players.
Literally 5 minutes ago, we were going through which set of 3 players.
My memory's not too crash hot.
It's not at all. You're a goldfish, mate. But I will go through. We have the Lakers' young core, so to speak. We're not putting in Josh Hart, but we are going to put in Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, and Brandon Ingram. This has been, as is with a lot of Nick's preparation for this podcast, he has had none. But he's going on Basketball Reference, so I respect that. I'll go with mine first. And a lot of people... I'm not big on Kuz, but I feel like I have to start him.
I am.
Yeah.
I am, but it depends it depends how you look at this sort of conundrum.
Yeah, so if you're like talking about like current
talking
Lakers
about right
squad,
now, if you're talking about like maybe in a couple of years.
Yeah, because like I've got...
Because I'm fairly sure you're going to drop the person I'm going to start.
So like I've got... I'm going to drop Brandon Ingram.
Ooh, that's not what I expect.
I'm going to bench Lonzo, and I'm going to start Kuz. Just for right now, because I think he fills a decent enough role as a scorer. Like, he is the number 1 scorer on this team right now with LeBron out. His skill set isn't as varied as a guy like...
Diversified.
Diversified.
He needs to diversify his portfolio.
Yes, Nick, we get it.
Business terms.
You've got a job. But Lonzo Ball is also shooting like 41% from the free throw line. So I can't, like, as high as I am on him, like Stephen Curry's shooting better from 3.
Poor.
It's not poor. It's horrific.
Yeah,
it's disastrous. He's like people like worry about. What do you think's worse, Ben Simmons' jump shot or Lonzo Ball's free throw shooting?
You know. Oh,
that's
rough.
It's like choosing between a shit sandwich and a what was it, douche. A giant douche or a
turd sandwich.
Yeah. Shout out to South
Don't you see? Every election is between a giant douche and a turd sandwich. Very topical.
We got real political today.
Did you just call Hillary Clinton a giant douche?
Ooh,
I think that's sexist, mate.
Maybe I called Joe Biden that because he might be running for 2020.
Ooh. Kanye 2020.
No, I don't. Well, D'Angelo Russell did wear an Oprah 2020 shirt in his...
I'd get around that.
Yeah, I'd get some Oprah. Yeah, she'd give me a free car.
She's a...
I do need a car.
And you get a free car.
Yeah. We're going way too many tangents on this podcast.
And we are...
What are we talking about?
Off topic. DPS, mate. Kuz.
You said off topic.
Yeah, I'm saying we're doing an off topic within the DPS.
We are inceptioning our own podcast. Yes. I love it.
The DBS, the S stands for Ception.
Oh, it's a C though.
Starts with a C.
Ception isn't an actual word.
It's not a word.
It's a part of word.
I had to try and make it work, Jack. Anyway, so you're dropping Ingram.
Yeah, because I just think that he's like a Wiggins right now. He's not washed. Like I'm gonna steal from my boy Corey Waldron and give guys until they're 25. I feel like that's like a tipping point. You know, it's a tipping point in your life as well. Nick, you're 24 yet?
I'm 25. I turned 25.
Oh, shit.
15 days ago.
Right, yeah, I was in America. I couldn't care less. I was living it up over there, mate. I don't want to be here for your birthday. So I think that's a general tipping point for most prospects as well. Like, obviously, unless you're like... And I think for Brandon, because he's had that a little bit of time, he hasn't necessarily had a turning point. I mean, neither has an Andrew Wiggins. He's had spurts, but I think Lonzo shows more high-end potential in a sort of specialty role, be it as like a defensive sort of guy who can shoot some threes, whereas I think Brandon Ingram just does a lot of stuff, but nothing well. Kyle Kuzma is a very good scorer. I don't think Brandon Ingram has any high-level acumen in any area yet, apart from maybe...
He shows flashes. That's the only thing about Brandon Ingram that can really...
But flashes...
Well, that's the only thing that can sell you on Brandon Ingram. He had a couple possessions, even just today.
Yeah, today, yeah.
He had a couple of flashes where it's just like, man, this guy's like, he's playing like Kobe.
Yeah.
The isolation plays he would do, he's got such length, he can just shoot over people. Durant-esque.
Yeah.
Just having his way with a defender, and then obviously make or break whether he makes the shot.
Yeah.
And that can really sell you on Brandon Ingram. But I'm in the same boat with you. We're
doing the same thing.
I'm dropping.
Who do you think I was going to
do? I thought you were going to drop Lonzo.
Yeah, I was very close to it, but like...
So wait, are you starting Lonzo?
No, I'm starting
Okay,
Kuz.
you're starting Kuz. Okay.
I think if we do this next year, or even the year after, I feel like this could change very quickly. Like,
I mean, that's the drawback with the young players. They can turn
on a whim.
Unexpectedly. You know, you might be able to see the growth that we've been expecting from Brandon Ingram next year in when he's 23.
Yeah.
We saw Oladipo make that crazy step after he left.
Yeah.
So maybe it takes a trade for Brandon Ingram to see. Look at
it
D'Angelo Russell right now.
Yep.
Very much in my
How good would he be in the Lakers right now?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Who knows if he'd be the same person? Coach Kenny has done some amazing things.
He definitely would not. I mean, that goes without saying. But he did show flashes there. I think Byron's got stunted his potential.
Yep.
But we will have
Kobe stunted.
We will have is it the Nets? What was my segment?
Brooklyn Bits,
and we will have Wizards. We're not going to tell you the wait, no, because this is the end of the podcast. We're doing it backwards. What
meta?
Okay, for those that want an inside look of how we're recording this podcast, we're actually doing JBTeam and DBS before. So if this sounds all out of whack and Nick says something that he's not supposed to, we're almost like going back in time. This is like a sci-fi pod.
And we're going to mention this at the start of the pod. So when you listen back, we're going to predict what we're going to say.
Man, we should do this all the time. We're going to
Anyway, Jack, I'm going to start Lonzo.
Oh, you're starting?
I'm looking at this from a projection sort of standpoint. Lonzo's defense right now, not even defensive ceiling. Lonzo's defense right now is higher than Kuzma's will ever be.
Yeah, easily.
Ever be.
Easily.
Lonzo's only going to get better defensively. He is going to make many all-defensive teams in his career. I am 100% sure of that.
Yeah.
The kid's almost averaging 2 steals a game. He's 21 years old.
But is he like an Andre? Is he like... I mean, it's hard to sort of compare these two, but it comes to mind because of the lack of the jumper. I mean, I think his jumper's been quite good this season, but in terms of free throw shooting, like, is he an Andre Roberson where that's his best ceiling? Or does he have higher right now? Because obviously his passing acumen is sublime. His passing instincts are insane. Almost too good because he needs to be a bit more selfish. But, I mean, you look at the basic fundamental of the free throw shooting, and it just worries me a little bit.
Yeah, that is fair. And, much like... there was someone I was saying, like Ben Simmons, I have complete faith that he will turn around his jumper. Lonzo Ball, I'm not 100% sure on, but his basketball IQ, his defense...
Oh, his IQ's
will
huge.
Get him through and be, especially next to LeBron, a better player in the latter part of LeBron's contract.
Yeah.
Maybe in 2 years' time.
Yeah,
maybe in 1 year's time. He will have a net plus minus better than Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah.
I think maybe.
It's
all dependent on who they put around him. Because Lonzo Ball can make your team better, but if you put 1-on-5 hero ball, then Kyle Kuzma's going to come out.
Yeah, I don't
on top.
dispute that. I mean, we've talked at length about the Lakers front office and how they failed to sort of build a very capable sort of team around it. Because I think Lonzo would benefit as well, having great shooters as well. Much as
100%.
Much as a LeBron. But guys, if you want to, again, like Nick said, if you want to hit us up with DBS, at the JM and JBT, at JBT and Nick and JBT podcast, gmail.com. You know where to find us. But are we going to do the ending now? We're going to go back and...
Yeah, we'll do the ending, yeah.
So, can I do it?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to read it? Yeah, do your spiel, mate. You do your spiel.
It's not my... It's
the spiel.
It's your spiel, because you came up with it.
I mean, you do it.
All right, cool. That just about does it for another week, guys, who had thought... oh, wow, this is harder than I thought. So we'd just like to say thank you all for tuning in to Just Ball Things. Catch us on the Nothing But Net Dash Radio channel. As always, catch us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Blog Talk Radio, wherever it is you listen to your pods. Do us a solid, leave us a rating and review as well. Helps us out heaps. Remember, it's you guys who make the show great. So we appreciate any and every post heading our way. So until next week,
keep balling, superstars.